Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Arnold and today I'm going to be doing a video on spiritual awakening tips. So I received a download just before I started this video, so that's what the topic's going to be. It's about receiving and how to receive and blocks to receiving for those of you who are wanting to manifest or trying to manifest or have been manifesting and have been receiving some blocks. So I get a couple downloads right before this video is made to those who would be viewing it, some blocks that they might be having. So what I'm going to first start with is a question from a viewer, and it says, I am now just receiving messages from my higher self or spirit, and I want to connect with higher worlds. Is there a practice that will improve my connection to or with spirit? So first of all, Saint Germain was pointing out that nothing is outside of us, it's all inside of us. And if we have the belief that there's something that's greater than us and we're trying to manifest that or create that in our reality, and we have a belief that it's superior to us, then we can never reach it. We're always going to be chasing it. So it's like the ego consciousness is saying, oh, that thing is more important than you. So if you want to channel the ascended masters and you're believing that they're more important than you, then you can never match their frequency. It's changing your belief to they're equal to me. They are within me. Everything is equal. Everything on planet Earth is attainable because I am that vibration. It's believing that you already are everything. So if you already are everything, then you can easily have that in your reality. It's creating the belief that nothing's more important outside of you. So if I was starting to channel Saint Germain and I believe that he's more important than me, then what happens is I can't receive his messages because he's saying, we're not a vibrational match. Like you're making yourself inferior and making me superior, which is causing this separation. In order to channel me, you must believe that you have that vibration within you. So then it comes down to receiving the same vibration that I already am. So you have to believe that you already are what you're seeking, and that's like a key to manifesting. It's like what you're seeking outside of you, you already have within you. And what they're showing me right now, it's like everything that's created in our outer world is first created within us. So it's like, they show me like a hologram, like everything's a vibrational frequency. It's just vibrating at different rates. And then our perception is that we perceive something to be solid. But what it is we create within us. And that's why the universe is always saying, or the spirit guides are always saying, look for the signs outside of you, because what you create within you, you're going to project that frequency in front of you to reflect back to you. So knowing that you are already everything and seeing the signs around you is, if your manifestation is close, like, are things lining up? So if you put out to the universe, I desire to channel the ascended masters, then they'll start to come into your reality if you believe that you're worthy of receiving that. So knowing that they're like equal to you. They're like your best friends. It's the same as picking your friends on planet Earth. You pick your spirit guide. So it's like, oh, who do I want to align with? Oh, could I love myself that much? Could I love the divine frequencies within myself? Can I connect to the Christ consciousness within me, the God within me, the universal energy, source energy frequencies within me? And then I'll be able to create any spirit guides in my reality that I choose to, because I'll be a vibrational match to the highest divine light. So that's what they're saying, is to go in and create that belief. And you'll notice that they'll start to show up. You'll start to attract that frequency because you're no longer thinking something's inferior to you. If you believe something's inferior to you, you'll always be chasing it. The ego is going to say you need to keep chasing that, and you'll never be able to reach it. You'll never be able to obtain it because it's a belief something's greater than you. So equal to you, or some people even would think, if some people believe that something's inferior to them, then they'll attract it as well. And you can see it in your normal day-to-day outings, like if you see a guy chasing a girl and the girl's not interested in him, and it's like he's always chasing something he can't reach. But if he loved himself first, then that girl that he was chasing would start to be attracted to him, because he's got to find that love within himself before he can receive that love outside of himself. So it's like if he's wanting this girl and the girl's running, then he would know that that's a reflection that he's not yet loving himself. And if he begins to love himself, then that girl will come to him. If it's, if it's in his reality for his highest good. So again, we're going to create what's for our highest good. And if the universe is stopping something, then that's another sign. Oh, if something's not in alignment, don't resist it. Resist nothing. Allow everything, resist nothing is the way of the universal flow. So if you're manifesting or you want to manifest something, just allowing it to come. If it doesn't show up, if you're seeing signs from the universe that it's getting blocked, it could be that it wouldn't be for your highest good. So it's as you're beginning to believe that you are worthy of receiving these messages from the Ascended Masters or any other divine light beings that you choose to channel, what's going to happen is they're going to start showing up in your reality. They'll come across your YouTube page, or you'll see a book in a bookstore, or you'll hear their name randomly. So they'll start showing you signs that they're, wanting to connect with you. It's like you're now attracting that in your reality because you're feeling worthy of receiving it. So I'm going to go into the next download that I got today. Was about, there are many of us that are, Saint Germain saying you're seeing the value within yourself. Like that's not an issue. It's like you begin to love yourself. You're saying like, I'm valuable and I know I'm valuable and I'm worthy of receiving. But there's still some of us that have a belief that is, I believe I'm valuable, but do I believe others believe I'm valuable? So if you look back, like, does your family and friends respect and value what you do? Do you have clients that are respecting and valuing what you do? Are you chasing something, like say that you have a business? Are you chasing something and not receiving anything, but you're saying, oh, but I am valuable. Why am I not receiving this? Why am I not receiving my soulmate? Why am I not receiving money? Why am I not receiving good health? And so it's like, the more that we value ourselves, the more it's going to reflect back to us. But if we're having a belief in our belief system that we're not valuable to others, then that's going to create a block too. So what he shows me is that some viewers watching the YouTube channel watching our YouTube channel, they're seeing themselves as valuable because they've been doing all this inner work and, they've really begun loving themselves. But yet their family beliefs and what they grew up with and their past lifetimes. So he's showing me like as children, it's like, a lot of our parents their job is to keep us inferior because then they think, well, if they're humble, and the word humble means to keep oneself inferior. So if they're humble, then people will respect them. They'll be good children. The teachers will like them. I'll keep my child humble. So it's like, if I keep my child humble, God will love them. If you have a religion that you're part of, everybody in the congregation will admire them because they will be humble and inferior. So a lot of times the parents' job in the ego consciousness in the third dimension reality is to keep their children inferior, so that way they would never get a big head or get greedy. And so now there's many of everyone awakening that are beginning to love that within themselves, but they're still carrying the beliefs from childhood that, I'm not seen as valued by my mother. I'm not seen as valued by my father. I'm not being seen as valued by my teachers, by my friends, by my coworkers, by, if you have your own business, by, your clients, or You're not seen valued by men if you're a woman looking for a husband, or you're not seen valued as women by women if you're a male looking for a husband, or if you're a male looking for a male or a female looking for a female. Like, it's like, why am I not attracting to me what I see myself as valuable as? And so Saint Germain's saying, go back to childhood and see what beliefs were created and change those beliefs to others do see me as valuable, and I can create that in my reality because I am knowing. You have to know. So it's like, one thing is like to have a belief, and the other is to know. And they're two different vibrations. Like, I believe others see me as valuable. And then it's going a little step further and saying, I know without a doubt that others see me as valuable. And when you get to the vibrational frequency of knowing, not just believing, but knowing, then you're going to create a lot of stuff in your reality that you are desiring or wanting to come into your life as abundance. And you can use these, use this in all areas, like money, love, happiness, health. It's like, where am I seeing myself as valuable because I've been working on myself, but yet I'm still believing that others don't think I'm valuable. And he's saying that there's a lot of us that have a certain specific areas, and a lot to do with our creation. So when we create as children, we're using the Christ consciousness within us to create our, create something new, create something that nobody's ever seen. And then we get laughed at, or some of you get mocked for it. So he's saying, going back and changing that to, all your creations are perfect. Everybody loves your creations. Your creations are being seen as valued. And then as you create now in your adult life, then that's going to begin to reflect back to you just by changing the childhood belief. So it's like you were this light and you came onto planet Earth and you're like, oh, I know that I have the Christ consciousness within me. I know my connection to the universe, and I have a lot to show and I have a lot to create. And so you begin to create, and then everybody around you, because everybody's in third dimension, they want to put out your light. So their ego says we must put that person down so that we are more superior, or that we'll know that we're important, not them. And so people begin to put down your creations, or mock you, or attack you verbally, or destroy your creations, or steal your creations. And so it begins this like hamster wheel of, getting disappointed, not feeling good enough, not feeling valued. So changing all those to everyone sees me as valuable. And that's why I wore this crown today. My inner child, I had picked this dress that I'm wearing, and I said, why did you pick this dress? And she said, well, the sequence matches our crown. So I was like, oh my goodness, yes, we have to wear a crown today to show our value. And so it's really putting a value on yourself and showing everyone outside of you, and believing and knowing that everyone sees you as valuable. And then you're going to create a life that you desire, and a life full of abundance. And this would be like really getting into that frequency of receiving. Another way to receive even more than you're receiving is to have a belief and a knowing, going the step further to a knowing that there is no competition, because everything that you create in your reality is your reality, and no one's reality is the same as yours. It's all separate realities. So we have this illusion that we come to planet Earth, we put on this human costume, we have an illusion that we're separate, and therefore we create a life of our own perception, and then the person next to you creates a life of their own perception. So if your perception is that there is no competition, everything that you enter, you'll receive and win, because you don't see any competition. So if you went for a job interview, it's like your dream job, and there's 100 other people being interviewed, and you have the belief that, oh, I have a lot of competition, instantly it brings you down here and says, well, I can't reach that because I might not be good. What if somebody else is better? So if you don't see anything as competition because you're creating your own reality and no one else can touch that reality, then you already have the job. So it's like knowing, oh, when I go into this job, I won't have any competition. So it's knowing that before you even go to the job interview, or if you enter a contest, it's knowing that if this is for my highest good, I'll receive it. And I don't have any competition. I already know that in my reality that I can tap in to this frequency from another, it's like timeline. So because time doesn't exist, like time's folded space. So everything's happening now. So all our past lifetimes are happening now. Every time you make a decision, there's another aspect of you that unfolds that other decision in a different timeline. So you can tap into these different timelines because we're all multidimensional. So it's like, oh, if I have a job interview and 100 other people are going to this job interview and I have a knowing that this is the job that I really desire and that would really align with me, then I'm going to remove the belief that there's competition. I'm just going to tap in to the frequency of the other dimension or the other timeline. Because it's the same dimension. It's still in a third dimension reality. It's just a different timeline. I'm going to tap into the timeline where I've received every job that I've ever desired and that I receive it with ease. And I'm going to go in with that vibration and know that I will receive that job. So I'll give you an example. I was applying for some magazines to put my art in the magazines. And one of the magazines said, there's a lot of, like, we have a lot of submissions, like, don't expect to hear back from us, because we receive so many submissions every day. And so we can't get back to everybody. And I was like, oh, well, in my reality, there is no competition. So I'll submit my artwork and I'll be the only one submitting it in my reality. And then I heard right back from them that I got my art accepted in their magazine. So it's like just having the belief, but going a step further and knowing, not just believing, but I know that what I can create in my reality, and I know my worth, and I know my value, and I know there's no competition. That's going to help you to manifest a lot more in your life that you are desiring or that feels out of reach. So those are my tips for today. I want to say thanks for coming, and we will see you next time. Have a great night.